Good evening. Thank you for joining us. One day after meeting with the Prime Minister, Premier Brian Pallister is once again pitching his Made in Manitoba carbon tax as one that would work better and cost us all less. He made the pitch in front of agricultural producers who say the federal tax imposed on Manitobans is costing them thousands of dollars. CBC's Riley Lachuk has more.
If you want to make an announcement that hopefully goes over well with farmers, Ag Days in Brandon, one of the largest farm expos in the country, is probably the right place. The Premier announcing his Made in Manitoba Green Plan and carbon levy are being revived, saying enough is enough with Ottawa's carbon tax.
Carbon tax will continue to rise and rise and rise with each passing year. And for anyone who comes from a small business or farming background, and I do, I would say that's not a good thing.
Pallister told the crowd he would exempt grain drying costs from a provincial carbon tax, unlike the federal tax. It comes as farmers in much of the West face steep bills as they use natural gas and propane to dry their grain and corn after a wet fall. Keystone Agricultural Producers, the province's largest farm group, says corn producers alone are paying more than $1.7 million in carbon tax this year. President Bill Campbell says that added tax can't be passed down, so farmers are absorbing the cost.
This is an uncompetitive disadvantage that we have. American producers do not pay a carbon tax on their corn production.
Campbell says his group was involved in the initial drafting of the Manitoba plan and says there aren't currently any other methods of getting grains and other crops ready for storage other than to dry them. Now, Pallister wouldn't give an exact price today for his Made in Manitoba carbon levy, but claimed it would make Manitoba the greenest province in the country. For the province's ag sector, though, they say while they applaud the decision to exclude grain drying from the carbon tax, they say more discussions need to happen.
Well, I would think that it is a step in the right direction in acknowledging what agriculture does with regards to carbon sequestration. We are stewards of the land.
Pallister's plan also calls for an increase to the amount of ethanol in gasoline and biodiesel in diesel fuel. He says that would reduce Manitoba's carbon emissions by almost 400,000 tons over 5 years.
It positions us, and we've done the science, to achieve the results we need to achieve, to be more than a per capita more contributor to the Paris Accord requirements than is our share of the population.
Pallister says he is ready to negotiate with the federal government and vowed to keep any carbon levy in this province low. Riley Lachuk, CBC News, Brandon.